You're at every session, every match. You see the Tuesday training, the heavy legs on Friday, the exam stress on Wednesday. You are the most present person in your child's football life. And yet, the most important parts of their development have no one actively managing them. The parts that determine what happens in the game on Saturday and what happens to their body over the next 5 years. I want to show you what I mean, and it'll only take a few minutes. Grab a pen if there's one nearby, or just follow along in your head. Think about your child right now. I'm going to draw a simple wheel. Your child at the center, 6 spokes around it, and each spoke is a different area of their development. We've got the 6 spokes, one for each area. Now, ask yourself 2 questions for each spoke. Who currently sees this and who manages it? Let's start with practice design. What they do with a ball at home, does it actually look like and transfer to what Saturday asks for? Sideline and car ride. What you do on match day, before the match, during it, and the drive home after. Your child's physical load, club sessions, matches, private coaching, any extra gym or technical work, not just what the club tracks, the total of everything football related in the week. Growth stage, which phase of physical development they're in right now, and whether training actually reflects that. Psychological load, school stress, social pressure, anything difficult at home, it fills the same physical bucket as training. The long game, the 3 to 10 year decisions, when to specialise, whether to move clubs, how football fits against everything else in their life. Who's making those calls? For each one, ask who sees it and who manages it. Take your time with this. Pause the video if you need to and come back when you're ready. Before I go through what was filled out, I've built a free tool that addresses the one area most parents can act on this week. The link is in the description below. Most parents who do that exercise find the same thing. The club or the coach appears once, maybe twice. Then, somewhere between me, I think, and nobody for the rest. If that's close to what you found, you're not alone, and it's not a reflection of how much you care. In 14 years as a physio, I haven't met a parent who didn't care. I've met plenty who were never given the full picture, though. It's a structural and systemic gap, not a parenting gap. The club manages what happens on the training pitch. 3 hours a week, built around what the team needs. It was never designed to see and manage the full picture of one child's development. 17 kids for 60 to 90 minutes, 2 to 3 times per week. It can't. Everything outside those hours is yours. The parent side, the practice at home, the total load across the week, the growth phase they're in, the car ride home, the decisions that shape the next 5 to 10 years. In professional football, there's a position built specifically for the person who sees across everything, the general manager or the director of football, but let's just go with GM for now, as it's shorter and snappier to say. Not the coach. The coach manages the sessions. The GM sees the full picture, long-term decisions, the health arc of the player across the season and across years, the environment they're developing in, protecting them from short-term pressures that produce results this week at a cost that shows up later in the physio room or as a career that ends earlier than it should have. In your child's development, that role has likely been vacant, not because you didn't care, but because nobody told you it existed and nobody gave you the framework for it. And I want to be absolutely clear that this is not about you becoming a second coach. Parents who cross into coaching territory, giving technical instructions from the sideline or conducting a debrief after every missed chance, typically make things harder for kids, not easier. What I'm describing sits above the coaching. It's a different job, one the club can't do because the club doesn't see what you see. You've been the most present person in your child's football life. What was missing was the framework for what to do with that presence. And the stakes aren't only about the game on Saturday. After 14 years in the physio clinic, the pattern is quite clear. The overuse injury that ends a season rarely starts with a dramatic incident on a Thursday. It often starts in the untracked weeks, the weeks where nobody added up the total load, where the growth spurt was invisible to everyone except the parent who noticed that the trouser legs was getting shorter, where the psychological bucket was already full before training started. The same parent who designs this environment well is the parent whose child performs on Saturday and stays on the pitch long enough for it to matter. The next video goes through what each area actually requires in practice, but here's one area you can start with this week. Practice design is where to start. No equipment, no coaching qualifications, no permission from the club needed. Free tool in the description, try it out this week. I've also put the diagram from this video in the description as a free download. If you want to sit down and go through it properly with your partner, or come back to it at the start of each season, it's right there. If you want me working through all 6 areas for your specific child, what's being managed, what isn't, what needs to change first, you can apply below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.